take the chance and roll the dice.
And hey,
We're back.
What did you find?
What did I find?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's horrible. It's scary. It's last night's dinner. Yeah, I know. Last night's dinner. No one cleaned up. They left it out on the table. It's rotting.
That is horrible.
It's right over there behind you. The thing that I found. Turn around. I promise I'm not going to stab you. Right over there.
Yep.
So it's in room two. Room 2. Why did?
That's
right. Yes.
First bomb.
But we kind of already knew that was there.
We had
the vision of it. This is honestly actually not the evil, horrible thing that I thought they were gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting something else as well.
Right.
So, thank you.
All right. So, yeah. So we found a bomb. I don't think we can do anything with the bomb right now.
Not yet. No.
Boom. All right.
That's part of the true end.
Right, because you get to do all the additional stuff.
You got to do all kinds of fun stuff for
that. All right. So we found the bomb. But we can't do anything about it. So whatever. All right, but we were talking about favorite game and why.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you came up with the question, so you get to go first. What is your favorite game and why?
My favorite game is Golden Sun. It is on the Game Boy Advance. It is an RPG where you run around and you try and save the world from magic getting unlocked. And it's really enjoyable. It was one of the first RPGs I ever played, and I really got into the story, and it's got a unique little thing that it does with you find these little creatures that will give you extra powers, and they've got a fun little summoning system with them, and it's just really, really entertaining. The sequels were good. I enjoyed the sequels, but the first one is the one that really holds a special place in my heart. I have played that more times than I care to think about, and I can play it practically blindfolded, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy it.
Okay. My favorite game and why? Ugh, that's difficult because there's a whole bunch of different games that I enjoy for different reasons. Mm-hmm. So naming a favorite is so difficult.
If we can get it, we should be safe as long as
I can't answer that question honestly. I can name off a number of different games I like and why I like them, but I can't really answer. And I'm sure a number of you are having that same issue of, well, there's not really a game I can name as my favorite game and why. I mean, the game I put the most time into is World of Warcraft, just because it's an MMO and they kind of require that sort of insane amount of time investment. I really like the Final Fantasy series, and there's a number of you that are probably going to crucify me for this, but I greatly enjoyed Final Fantasy 13 and its 2 sequels. I do not, for the life of me, get the Corridor Simulator 13 label that people normally attach to it. Or rather, I understand where people get it from, but that was not the impression I got with the game. Honestly, I think it's just because Final Fantasy 13 doesn't allow you to do the whole I'm going to be distracted from the main quest with side quests thing until much late in. Basically, they don't let you do it until the 3rd act of the game. And that's when it opens up and allows you to do whatever side quests you want. Whereas in previous Final Fantasy games, well, the 3rd act is usually the act where there are no more side quests to do.
Yeah.
And you've gathered all your side quests through Act 1 and 2. Whereas this takes the other approach of they kind of force you to go through most of the story before they'll allow you to go off and, twiddle your thumbs.
10 did the same thing. 10, if you're not playing Blitzball, then you're on the main story until you're at the final bit, and then you actually get access to the airship controls.
Well, yeah, but yeah, it's when you defy what's her name, the priestess.
You want me to do
Yeah.
Yezma or whatever. Not Yezma. What's her name?
Yevon is the god.
Yeah.
God, what is her name?
It doesn't matter. It's when you defy her is when you finally get to open it. So you're right. Unless you're doing Blitzball, there's really no
there's
side
no side
stories,
quest
and it's actually very similar to 13 in that a lot of it, while it's out in the open, you're still on there's a single path you can take. And 13 had the same thing. It's just a lot for a good portion of the story, and it makes sense at the start of the story. You are in this mega city, this futuristic mega city, and you're like, it makes sense that you're going to be in enclosed environments. They're pretty environments, but I mean that's so people's big complaint about Final Fantasy X is the voice acting, which, you know, that's fair. It was the first time they did a fully voice acted Final Fantasy game.
And there's some issues with
there's some questionable choices about the voice acting.
Scene. Oh my god.
Makes sense in context. Not well recorded, but does make sense in context. But 13, same thing, but people rag on 13 for it. So I don't know. The paradigm system is probably the thing I like the most from 13.
I haven't actually played 13. What is the paradigm system?
It's pretty simple, actually.
Different people have,
For example, let's say
okay, so you know how in previous Final Fantasy games people have classes where it's like, this is your white mage. So even if it's in one of the games where they don't actually have the classes labeled, it's like so like 9. Zidane is the thief, and Rose, I think, is the name of the princess. Whatever, she's the healer, and then you have Freya, who is the dragoon, and so on and so forth. Everyone has their set role in their class. And so 13 switches that up with, you have a thing called paradigms, where you set the role that someone is going to have in this particular formation. And eventually you unlock the ability to have 6 different paradigms. Each character can have one of 6 roles in a set paradigm. You start with each character only having 2 roles, and they eventually get a 3rd and so forth. Eventually everyone gets access to all the roles.
Okay.
And it's things like the guardian, the tanky character, the tanky role. They call it Sentinel, I believe. It's the tanky role. They have the healer. They got the debuffer. They got the buffer. They've got the they have 2 different like main attack people. It's like the striker and the something else. One's job is just deal raw damage. The other one is to lower the enemy's defense. And so what the paradigm system is since everyone had access to all the roles, but they could only be in one role at a time, is you set up these different battle formations that you could change at any time.
Okay.
And you change the battle formation. So it's like, okay, the bosses and big enemies all had massive... Wait, what did Dio just do?
Tried to move the bomb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's Dio.
You don't mess with the bomb. You leave it alone.
Exactly. So anyways, so they...
Do you know how to turn it off?
Wow, I love... So all the big enemies and the bosses, they telegraph the move they're going to do before they do it.
Okay.
So if an enemy is about to do their big ultimate attack type thing, it'll be telegraphed somehow, either through like a text box that pops up that they're going to do something, or the enemy will go into like a different attack mode or something like that, so you know what's happening. So you can switch to the appropriate paradigm to respond to it, if that means having one tank or multiple tanks or whatever. Everyone had tank roles they take, and you do that. So it adds a bit of strategy to it. But where people felt that, oh, they're taking away my control, is because you have that control, and when people are in certain paradigms, they act certain ways. So the healer will prioritize healing. It's what they're going to do. The debuffer will prioritize debuffing the enemy. The buffer will prioritize buffing your own people, stuff like that. The only character you actively control and get to choose what you're going to do on is the party leader.
Okay.
Everyone else does whatever their role is. And people complained about that it was taking away the control from that. And I get it a little bit, but at the same time, it's like everyone in those games was still just kind of making people like you set up your debuffer or your healer that all you do on their turn is you heal. So it's like
They did a similar thing with 12.
yeah. I
Where
mean,
you set
and
up your-
12 gets praised for that sort of thing. I don't know.
I never actually played 12, but I watched Steve play it. Now, it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I mean, 13 has a lot of systems and mechanics and setup that the previous games have and got praised for, and it gets ragged on. So nah.
What were you doing?
Get off my lawn.
Oh my god, how dare you do something different? This is supposed to be Final Fantasy. Everything is the same and...
So yeah.
People didn't do stuff different, we'd never get new stuff.
Exactly. So I mean, so I like 13, and then 13.2 changed some stuff a little bit, and then added a Pokemon system to it. And then by the time 13.3, aka Lightning Returns, pops out, you have a single character who is so powerful that she is your party.
Wow.
That's it. It's one character.
Nice.
The whole game, you control one character. It's just, and the paradigm system still technically exists, only you're reduced down to 3 paradigms, and it's the out. Then again, Lightning Returns kind of has the issue of being known as final dress-up simulator, because your paradigms are tied into these outfits that you find that you unlock along with accessories and the whole bunch. They went to because they knew that you would be stuck with a single character the whole game. They gave you a very, very customizable dress system in it.
That's totally okay with me.
So, yeah.
Because if you were stuck with one character and they make no changes at all the whole game, that would get boring as sin.
Right, but her outfits all
Anyway,
affect how she looks. And then you can have additional accessories that affect how she looks. And every weapon has a different weapon model. And you can have different weapons equipped when you are in different outfits. Because if you're in like the Dragoon outfit, you're going to want to be using a spear, as opposed to when you're in the fighter outfit, when you're going to want to be using a sword, or when you're in the the mage outfit, you're going to want a wand or a staff of some sort. So I mean,
It could be worse. It could be Final Fantasy X-2, where the entire
the
game
dress
is
spheres.
dress
Yeah.
up.
Well, I mean, because that's what a lot of people compare it to, is it's the dress sphere system. Because honestly, it is like that, but you can have 3 equipped at any one time.
Okay.
So you can have your red mage, but they're tied in the outfit instead of being. So you have a red mage type outfit, but then you can also get a more powerful red mage outfit that has slightly different abilities and slightly different things. But and it's another game that does New Game Plus right.
Okay.
press the buttons on your bracelet.
Oh no!
Oh no! As we have
4 minutes
to
somehow.
get through the next door.
But anyway, because they haven't even looked at the next chromatic door set yet, have they?
We looked at it when we came through the last puzzle room. We saw that they were there. That was
Right.
it.
So we haven't talked about who can go with who yet. But okay. But the dress spheres, or rather, yeah. So you have that. So New Game Plus, how they do New Game Plus, right? So you have the option to New Game Plus at any time. This reverts, or New Game Plus becomes available the first time you game over or get an ending.
Okay.
There are 2 endings to the game. I think there's a good ending and a bad ending.
Gotcha.
When you New Game Plus, you retain everything that you got previously that was not a key item, like a story item.
Gotcha.
So, experience points, accessories, crafting materials, stuff like that.
Nice.
And the unlocks. Because in addition to being able to level up in that game, and leveling in that game is a little weird because it's you get the experience points, but they don't really unlock anything on their own. It's like, oh, I killed this boss. Now I get these bonus abilities. Blah 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 blah. You retain those as well.
Okay.
So, if you are Oh crap! We didn't. Oh, it's going to tell us who
It railroads us into a room. It's
right. So we don't really need to pay too much attention to this.
right.
But anyway, so yeah, so you retain all that stuff, which is awesome. And so it means that if you are having trouble with a section of the game, you always have two options. Option one.
We need a system here, or why don't we let the people who are at the most, the people who
Right. So.
No way. We'll be fair and take a vote. Exactly.
So which one do you want?
So if you're having trouble with a boss, you have two options. Either go out and grind
I want to go with Sigma and Luna.
and hope that you can get like better equipment and potentially get some sort of
Do
upgrade.
you agree with him, Luna?
Or
I'll just
go against the boss,
Fine.
die, or die at any point,
I think option C.
New Game Plus it, reset back to the beginning, and play through up to that point again
So that's
with your more powerful form,
counting my
getting experience points and getting additional unlocks because you're going to kill any bosses or any other story events that were happening along the way. So by the time you get back to that boss,
You will be a higher
you
level.
are be more powerful
Nice.
and probably have more fun doing it than if you just ran around grinding.
Yeah.
3 votes for. I'd like to go with option A. How about you, Tenmyoji?
I don't mind going with option A.
1 minute.
Which one do you want, Clover?
I want to go with option C. Quark chose Ally in the first round, and I was with Kay in
Then that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Yep, that's right. Because of the betrayals at the beginning, we don't really get a choice.
Yep.
10 seconds. 9.
So I forget which door that puts. I stopped
We go
paying
with
attention.
Alice.
We're going with Alice, who betrayed us the first time.
Yep.
right.
One other thing that this game tends to do is everything comes down to the last seconds. Your voting, your doors, everything comes down to a countdown.
Yep. So we went through the blue door. Well, it's because it's to add suspense. I mean, I understand why they do it, but it's the fact that it becomes quite obvious. All right, so we made it through the door. We are inside, scanning.
Look, we make the thing.
Let's find out what room we're going into.
We are
Do,
in...
do, 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 boop.
I don't remember which
Oh,
one.
we did go down. We're on floor B now.
Huh. Okay. Botanical Gardens. This might be the other room that you can't save in.
Locked though.
I don't remember.
Meh.
now.
Does that mean this is just a... Try pulling it.
We're gonna pull the layer.
Pull the lever.
What's with all this? Are you still mad about the last...
Damn straight I'm mad.
Yeah, I mean,
betrayed
you-
us.
Please don't fight.
You made it so that I will possibly die this time. Screw you, Alice.
Yeah, I know. Especially since I'm voting against you, Alice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Go right ahead. See if I care.
That's right, because the game will end either way. Because I believe our choices are we die or like Clover escapes or something like that. Because what everyone else votes on is actually because the story bases it upon what we. I mean,
Yeah.
Clover votes whatever Clover votes, no matter what.
Clover does what Clover wants.
Yeah, Clover does what Clover wants, but it's if we die, we don't get to see the results.
Yep.
Yeah. So
You're not on the true ending. It doesn't end happily.
or yeah, and even then,
And even the true ending isn't
doesn't
happy.
end.
It's
Yeah,
just
it
more
doesn't end
complete.
indifferently.
Ceiling up there.
Okay, so we're in a botanical
Like a
garden.
whole other...
Yep.
The puzzles in this one were really annoying.
It involves the lights. I distinctly remember that much, and I think there's something glowing in the water.
It's the lights in the water, and I think that little organ, that keyboard organ that's over there. And then there's actually like multiple weird multiple locations to search in. It's kind of like, all right, so we are at Seeking a Way Out, and we will join you next time to start finding our way out of here. We hope that you're enjoying it thus far. This is probably going to be our last room, unfortunately. But
Because we'll either die or someone will get out or Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, but either way, that's what it is. We hope you've enjoyed the journey so far, and join us next time as we bumble around the room. Take care.
Bumbling garden.
I
See you
live
later,
it
guys.
out loud.